God, it feels so weird to film a video again. I haven't done this shit in so long. Hey everybody, what's up? It's Kevin, and I am officially 1 month on testosterone. Now, before I begin, I'd like to just point out that this setup is probably not gonna be how it's going to be forever. I'm still figuring this shit out. I've got my fucking window as lighting. I don't have anything like really properly set up. Like, I'm literally filming on my phone right now, so that won't last forever, I promise. I'll probably get like an actual space set up at some point. I really fucking hope so. Oh god. So anyways, with being on T for a month, of course that came with some changes, some pleasant, some not so pleasant, some things that some guys have talked about haven't even really come up yet, but I imagine that they'll be coming up in like the following months. As far as the first change goes, and the one that I'm most excited about, is my voice. It's already starting to crack a lot. Like a lot. It's bad. But it's deeper than it used to be, obviously. Not by too much, but by enough where it's like, it's noticeable, my friends notice it, I notice it when I'm speaking. I can sing lower now than I used to be able to. Before, I had to like really force my voice to kind of go down, like, to the level that I wanted it to go, and even then, like, it didn't sound natural. And I think, like, looking back at old videos of me, I can really tell, like, I was kind of trying to force myself into doing that, and now I don't really have to as much. This is just my natural speaking voice, and I don't know, I'm really proud of, like, the progress that's been going on in just 1 month of being on testosterone. One of the other changes that I noticed is that I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry all the time. I could eat a fucking barn and I would still be hungry. Please, just let me eat an entire fucking cafe. I can do it, I promise you. I've been craving a lot of meat lately, a lot of really carby food, to things that I probably shouldn't be eating, because apparently I'm supposed to be on a low cholesterol diet. That's so hard. I can't do it, fam. I need burgers. Speaking of food, one of the other changes that I've noticed is that I've gained some weight, maybe about 5 pounds or something, but I don't think it's because I'm like working out or doing any exercise in particular other than like walking every day. It's probably from food. I wouldn't be too fucking surprised if that were the case. Some of the body fat redistribution's already begun. I've noticed that the weight that's like around my waist and my love handles have kind of shifted to my stomach, but it's not super noticeable, but I have noticed some of it. One of the other things that I've noticed too, especially when I'm going out walking, even if it's like only 70 degrees or something, is that I sweat all the time. The underboob sweat is fucking real. I've been getting back sweat a lot more, and I mean, even if it's not hot, even if I'm like inside and sitting down, like sometimes I'll just catch myself sweating, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? Why? What the hell's that for, body? Can you please not? I don't want to stink right now, jeez. So another change that's been happening recently is change in body odor. It's nothing too significant, but it's something that I've definitely noticed, at least. I always have to put on more deodorant, and even then, like, it doesn't save me. It doesn't always solve the problem, because I'll probably just sweat it off. I wouldn't be too surprised. One of the other things that I've kind of noticed too is that my periods have become a lot more infrequent. Just this past month, my menses cycle started way later than it should have, and it kind of caught me off guard because I didn't feel anything. But yeah, hopefully that'll be going away rather quickly. I imagine within the next couple of months I probably won't be feeling that shit anymore, and it won't be going on, so yay for me. Now, as far as psychological changes, I haven't noticed too much other than the fact that I've become a lot more confident. Before I started testosterone, I worried all the time about not passing and about not being seen as who I am. I also worried a lot about finances and how I'm even gonna get started on T, whether or not I'm gonna be able to even get started on T. So that weight has been kind of lifted, and I've noticed that I've been able to walk straighter. I have a lot more confidence in the changes that are coming. And I mean, of course, I still occasionally get misgendered, but it's nothing too bad because I know that it won't be lasting too much longer, especially with the way that like my voice has already begun to change. I'm already starting to get called sir at work, which is nice. And as far as emotional changes go with testosterone, I haven't noticed anything too different quite yet. Maybe a little bit more moody or like a couple of days before my shot happens, but apparently that's pretty normal. I guess everybody goes through that. I've been feeling a lot more calm lately. Before I started testosterone, I was kind of not a nervous wreck, but I had a lot of anxiety, mostly about starting T and whether or not that was gonna happen, as I mentioned before. But I've been a lot more calm recently. And then some people may be wondering too how I got started on testosterone, because here in the Central Valley in California, like Clovis and Fresno and stuff, there aren't a lot of resources here. Most people, you know, when they think of Cali and they think of like LGBT rights, they think of places like San Francisco or LA, and you're not too far off. The Central Valley doesn't have too much, but we're getting there. Things are getting better, but as far as trans healthcare goes, there isn't a whole lot here yet. There's not a whole lot of doctors that specialize in this kind of thing. So I was really kind of worried about who am I gonna be able to see about this stuff. I don't want to have to travel all the way up to San Francisco just to go see a doctor. So one of the resources that I found that we have here though is Planned Parenthood Monte. Now Planned Parenthood Monte, they deal with this kind of thing. They deal with LGBT healthcare, especially trans healthcare, and helping transgender people start hormones. It was real quick, it was real easy. You know, you have to make an appointment to go see a specialist about it. Literally right then and there, after you fill out all the paperwork and after you talk to like the nurse and stuff, they teach you how to take your shot. You have like a little demo shot with some saline solution. It's painless, it's really quick, and they make sure to really thoroughly guide you through that process, so that way it's not so hard when you do it at home and when you have to do it in the future. I don't go to the doctor every time that I need my shot taken, I just take them at home. Right now my dosage is at 0.5 millimeter every 2 weeks, and that's probably what they'll start you off with too. The testosterone like comes within 5 days of them ordering it for you. Now some of you guys may be wondering whether or not you have to get a therapist still to start testosterone, and I know in California at least, I don't know if maybe some of the Midwest states kind of do this or don't, but in California you don't have to have a therapist in order to start testosterone because of WPATH. I'll put a link in the description about WPATH and what they do and what the guidelines are on that. Some really helpful stuff for anybody who's still trying to start out. And also, like, before you get started, always check with your health insurance to see what their guidelines are as far as starting HRT or getting potential surgery in the future. Like, I know with my health insurance, I know that I have to be living physically like as a man for a year in order to get my top surgery covered, and I think it's like an 80-20 coverage, so they cover 80% and then I pay 20% of it out of pocket. But always check too to see how they take care of starting hormone replacement therapy. You can usually just call a representative from your company and they can help you through it. So yeah, always just be sure to check in with your company, read their guidelines, see how they can help you out with that stuff before you go ahead and get started. And I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to follow me through my journey. I'll be posting updates every month, probably sometime around the 25th or so. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, see you later. God, what the fuck has my life come to?